Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending when you are watching this video and your time zone. In Nigerian time is afternoon already. I became pertinent for me to come online to clear some doubts. Most pig farmers, most especially the uninformed ones, the ones that don't have what it takes, the proper orientation as to how the piggery business is being run. Uh, I've been receiving calls from farmers, uh, those that are intending to go into piggery business, and those that are having backyard farms, local pigs, about milk leg down. That is milk flow. Most of the times, calls they call me are in line with the fact that their animal farrowed and the piglets are finding it difficult to get milk, enough milk. Most of the times when you get there, you discover that the animal is having milk, just that they are getting anxiety because of inexperience, and at times truly is the call at the right time because the animal, the piglets are having challenges with the animal. But I want to raise two factors here that could lead to that. The genetic makeup of some of these animals, some of them naturally, because of continuous inbreeding, that is breeding within the same line, there's ancestral history, we make them to have issues of that milk let down, because some of the parents are genetically coming from uh, ancestry history where the milk let down has been a challenge. And when you at the end of the day cross them and they go back to the genetic makeup that formed the same ancestral history, you see that the milk let down will drop drastically. It will drop at times to a point that an animal will give birth and you see that there's nothing to hold on to in respect to milk. Now it becomes a problem for farmers to survive, for the piglets to survive. I want to also state here that at times it's as a result of feeding. We have different feeds that we give to pigs at different stages. One, let me say that when you have an animal that is not pregnant, and the males and the females that are not pregnant in the sense that the female, I'm referring to not the males anyway. Some persons will put me out of context that I say pregnant animal and I'm mentioning males. But I said that because I want to put all of them in one basket. Now, the truth is, when you have such animal, the diet you give to them is general or growers diet. The nutritional value of this is different from the feeds that you give to an animal that has just conceived. You confirm that it has taken in. Many will be wondering, how do you know that? Let me just run a background check for you. A gestation period for a pig is 114 days, plus or minus. Now, the heat period is 121 days. That is, if an animal comes on heat today, it's after 21 days that the animal will come back on heat again. That is the heat period. Now, when you notice that an animal, you bred an animal today, you start counting from tomorrow. Next, you check until when the animal is around when you are 14 days into the period. That is where, for people that are very, very busy, you start giving that animal time to check from time to time to see if the animal show any sign of heat. You keep on checking morning and evening time depending on how you have time. If you don't have time, you can check in the morning time, and the following day you check in the morning time again to ascertain whether the animal is indicating signs of heat. And the heat lasts for only 3 days, so you need to be very careful to not to overshoot, so that at the end of the day you skip the days that the animal comes on heat and come after a long while and say that the animal has not come on heat again, why it has come on heat without you knowing. Now, when you have this at the back of your mind, but then let me add to that same statement. The heat period lasts for only 3 days. That is the period for which you can breed that animal. The animal will start preparing 21 days. Then it will stand. That is at the only time when the female will allow the male to mount it. That is we call that standing heat. That standing heat lasts for 48 hours. So let's take, for instance, you see it this afternoon. You just stumble on it this afternoon, and you were not there in the morning time. I always advise that you should presume that this thing started long in the night or even in the morning time before you came, so that you'll be on the safer side. Now you start checking the animal to ascertain whether it stands. How do you see that? What you will do is that you press the back of the animal from the hips, where the joint between the hips and the vertebral column, where just slightly above the waist towards the chest, like that. As you are coming up, you slightly above the hip, you press your hand, exert a lot of pressure there, but balance well so that the animal will not run away and land you into make you to fall and injure yourself. Now when you do that, you press hard, not small weight. When you exert a lot of pressure, if the animal is on heat and you press like that and the animal stands, it goes to show that the animal is on heat and it says on standing heat. Now you have no 2 ways to say look for somebody to come and check and tell you. If you have a male that you want to introduce, you just go ahead and introduce, and the male will tell you better, because it's only in piggery business, it's only the female that determine when mating is done. So when the female accepts the male, it goes to show that the animal is on standing heat. You can give it today. If it is in the afternoon time, you rest the animal and give it later in the evening time, depending how you have time. The reason behind that is that eggs in pigs are released in batches at different times. So the more spermatozoa you have, the better chances of litter size, that is number of piglets the animal will conceive. And note that of all the animal, pigs has the least quality of semen, and as such they ejaculated in large quantity, but then the spermatozoa quantity is quality is very minute. So if you introduce this afternoon and they met, you wait in the evening time, you met again, then the following day you met again until you are sure that the animal is not accepting the pig. But don't give it too often that you stress the boa. That is one aspect you should also take serious. Let us go back to our major challenge. I was only giving you a background check on things you need to do. But when you have the main discussion we're having now is make leg down, the challenges that you are likely to face. But I want to say here that if you have a pig that's just farrowed and you see that the animal, the piglets are running around suckling, the sow has been down and the piglets have been suckling for like 30 minutes, even beyond 30 minutes or 1 hour thereabout without stopping, you should raise a concern in your heart, because piglets suckled for a period of 15 to 30 minutes depending on their number sizes, and they are done with the suckling and they go back to sleep. When they are properly breastfed, they go back to sleep. Whenever you visit your farm and you see that the piglets are sleeping, it's an indication that the milk lay down is good. The milk is coming out very well. And you can also run a background check by pressing the teeth of the udder. The udder, I mean, is the underlining of the tummy that covers, houses the teeth of the breast. Now, you also see a sign. There is a demarcation when an animal is pregnant. As the pregnancy gets to like 3rd trimester, that is the 3rd quarter of the pregnancy duration, Let me not go into that, because if I go into that, definitely I'm going to confuse it. But I want to say that when the pregnancy is getting close to farrowing date, that is, if it is around you are getting to like 90 days thereabout into the pregnancy, you see that the udder will start developing. Just like a woman, when you are pregnant, the breast will start growing. On the lining of it, you see a demarcation between the upper parts and the breast itself. It will be growing. It's as if it's swollen like that round. And when the animal is about to give birth in some days, if you press the teeth of the udder, you see that milk will be coming out. That is clear indication that the animal is having a good milk leg down process. Let's not deviate from this. Let me put it to where I want to put it first. Secondly, yes, what you also check for again is if you see that the piglets are suckling continuously, just hold one of the teeth of the udder. Don't look at the ones that they've been suckling. Look at the ones that are down, that they've not been suckling, because these ones are under pressure already. So even if the milk is coming out, you will not know, because even if you press it, it will come out little because of the pressure the piglets have subjected the teeth to. Look, the ones that are under, that they cannot access, just press it and see if the milk is coming out very well. Then it goes to show that the milk leg down is good. If it is not much, you don't need to panic. Before, these are tips that I'll give you after some time, but when we start classes properly, I will lay down the procedures and all that you need to do, that it will help you to overcome all these challenges without even inviting anybody. On your own, you can do it. So now what you will do is that when you see that the milk is not coming out as you suppose, first you check whether you've been feeding them very well. The feeding, I mean, when your animal are stacking in, I'm going back to tie to where I deviated a little, where I started telling you about feeding, so that you get the picture of what I'm talking about. Now, when you get this, when you confirm that your animal has taken in the process of breeding after 21 days, you see that the animal has not come on heat again. You monitor it and see that it's not giving birth. The first, like I remember, the first diet I told you was general or grower's diet. Now, when you confirm that the animal is pregnant, now you start giving it gestation. This gestation is different from general in the sense that in this gestation, it has more fiber content, less bulkiness. That is the language I'll put that you understand. But when we go into nutrition proper, how to make feeds and all that, you will get the differences. But now, if I tell you details of this, it's going to confuse you more. So now what you will do is that you will first of all look at start giving it gestation. Now, when you give it gestation at a period of, say you start giving it at the onset of the pregnancy, that is at the point of conception, down to 100 days, then you change the diet to lactating diet. You know, the lactating diet is less in fiber, but then has more bulkiness that prepares the animal to start preparing enough milk ahead of what the milk is going to undergo when the piglets finally comes out. Now, this thing is going to last for a period of 14 days. That is 2 weeks. Within these 14 weeks, it is expected that the sow should be able, the milking system should be able to adapt and produce enough milk that will support the process. I want to assure you that when you do this, the process I'm telling you, you follow it. At the time of farrowing, you see that as the sow is giving birth to piglets, or farrowing as it's professionally called, you see that the milk will be oozing out on its own without even being expressed. That is the secret. But people don't know. At times they starve the animal. They don't give it a proper diet. And when the animal finally give birth, the pressure that the piglets will exert on the udder will be higher than what the mother is building up. Now you see that the sows will tend to be depreciating in value. The bones will start coming out because of the pressure. As he eats, the diet is going straight to the udder and it's going to affect them. Now, in the course of feeding them, when the animal finally comes out, when the piglets finally comes out on the 114 days, I want you to understand that you have the piglets out at that time. But what you will do is that you look at the number of piglets the animal is taking. I'm driving to a point. When you hold on, I'll give you that point that you have. Though the points are haphazard, I just decide that let me put it on board now. But when we start classes proper, I'll put them, arrange them as it's supposed to come, so that you get pictures. One will lead into another. But this one is just a desire that was just pushing me to clear some doubts on this. Now, what you will do is that when the piglets finally comes out, you look at the piglets. What we'll do is that at the point of when the animal is 14 days into the pregnancy, we expect that as they are giving the lactation diet, normally we recommend with good diet, you give a pig, no matter how big the pig is, you give it only 2 kg of diet. Now, what you will do is that when the animal is at the point of taking lactation, as they are giving it lactation, you give it 3 kg. 2 of the kgs is to maintain its own normal body nutritional value, then requirement rather. Then the other one is to maintain the milk leg down. So when finally she put to bed or farrowed, you look at the number of piglets. We after a lot of researches and all that, we came to discover that if a sow should give birth to 4 piglets, you have to add 1 kg to that feed. That is, if it is only 4 piglets that it has given birth to, the 3 kg you were giving is enough to take care of it. That is, the normal diet of that animal is 2 kg. The extra one is to prepare the milk. And if the animal has given birth to only 4 piglets, you have to allow that 3 this thing to continue. That 1 kg is going to take care of the piglets, the 4 of them. And we suggest that 1 kg should be given to an additional 1 kg should be given to an animal that has just farrowed, to take care of 4 number of piglets. Now, when you have like 8, already you have 3 there. 1 is for the 4 piglets. You add 1, making it 4 kg for the sow to be taken. You'll be giving it to that animal. Invariably, you are feeding the piglets with 2 kg. How is that possible? The body system will take as much as it can, and the milk leg down too will be enough to take care of the piglets. Now, what this aspect does to the sow is that when finally the animal is the piglets are getting to like 6 weeks of age, you see that in some cases the sows will start coming on heat. The reason is that their body system is designed in such a way that when they are 6 weeks of age, the piglets start picking the feed that the mother has been taking, and they reduce pressure on the milk, and the system of the sow now will give it an indication that the piglets are not mounting pressure again. It's time for you to start preparing to come on heat again. At times you see a sow with piglets and it come on heat. If you see that in your own farm, just clap for yourself. You have been doing a good job, the feeding. Though you might be feeding it excess, wasting your feeds. Because why do I say that? I said that because at times you'll be feeding them with excessive, giving him more than you're supposed to give them, wasting feeds, just because the diet, the formula is not guided, and you're just giving. Some people feed 3 times a day or 2 times a day. I feed only once, and I weigh my piglet at 6 weeks, and they're weighing around 12 to 15 kg of body weight at 6 weeks. So that is the end result of good feeding. Now, we are going to solution on what you need to do. Solution on what you need to do when milk is not coming out. If the milk is not coming out, remember I said, if it is as a result of dieting, you see that the udder will be dried. It will not be properly formed. So, and the milk will not be coming out. You need to, secondly, first of all, give the animal feed, enough feed. Add the feed to the animal. And you should also give oxytocin. Oxytocin, it comes in injectable, in ampoules, glass bottles, small glass bottles, just like gentamicin, and it's white like gentamicin. But you should be careful if you go to chemists and ask them to give oxytocin. Check it first, because at times they will give you gentamicin, you will not know, because some of them are not professionals. They might not know what they're giving you. Although it's advisable that any drug you are buying in a chemist or shop, you should ensure that you check and confirm with it should conform with what you are going to buy at the end of the day. So now when you come with that gentamicin, I advise that you should buy a row of it, because you don't know how long you are going to stabilize that. If it is an animal that weighs about 90 to 80 to 100 kg and above, you can give it 3 ampoules. You break the bottles at the tip of it, aspirate 3 ampoules of it. Then you clear the air bubbles inside the syringes. Just like for those that don't like injection, they will understand this thing better. When they see a doctor or a nurse or somebody aspirating this thing, they will be looking at it. They will watch it keenly. Even when they are at the point of expelling this thing, they will be looking at the drop of the drug that is coming out of them. They should know that better. But when you express this thing, ensure that you empty all the air bubbles inside. Now, oxytocin is just a hormone. It's not a drug. So it's not going to affect the animal in any way. You can give it intravenously. You can give it intramuscular at any point. You can give it at the udder, or you can give it at the thigh muscles. You can give it at the neck. But when we start classes, I also tell you the site of injection in pigs. If it is drugs, some drugs, we have enough of nerve supplies at the thigh muscles of pigs. So if it is hard drugs and you are giving them here at the thigh muscles, just like they give to goats and other animals, you are going to paralyze them. So we suggest you give it at the neck region, between the ear and the neck and the shoulder here. Between the ear and the shoulder, you have a V form of this thing here, like this, that covers down here. You give it at that place. That is the only place you give. Unlike in cattle, you give it at their gluteal muscles, at the back of the hips, where there is a depression, triangle depression. That is where you can see. But in pigs, this is where you give. And in giving this, you should give it at a time and wait for like 30 minutes and look at the response. If the animal is not down with milk just because of feeding, if it is not lack of feeding that made it to be like that, in less than 30 minutes, the animal should be able to react. The essence of that, or the reason for that oxytocin, is that the oxytocin contracts muscles. It contracts muscles and relax it, contrast it and relax. So the process of contracting and relaxation, it pushes the milk secretion down to the teeth where it will be oozing out. In some cases, if animals are properly fed, as you give them, after 30 minutes, you start seeing some milk coming out on their own. When the piglets are suckling, you see the milk coming out. If you press one, it will run as if it wants to. It's needle that you press it. Those that are experienced in the field will be able to understand what I'm telling you best. So I want to also say that when you give that 3 ampoules, wait for like 30 minutes. If you don't see any result, you give 2 ampoules again. You see how logically this thing is given. You give 3 first, you drop by 1, give it 2. The reason behind that is that in a whole day, you're supposed to give just 6 ampoules to an animal medically. In some cases, some people give more than that, but there is a repercussion for that. But though that is a lesson for another day. But I want you to understand that when you give that the second dose, you wait for 30 minutes again. If there is no response, you give 1. Surely, if what is happening is no deficiency as a result of feeding, you see that the milk will start coming out gradually. And when you see that the milk is not coming out, in this case, after the 3 injections at different intervals, what I suggest you do is that dash to a provision store, buy feeding bottles, the one they use in giving children milk. Now, buy also milk. I prefer pig milk, full cream. If you can buy that one, it depends on how your money, how far your money can go. You buy it. Buy glucose. Now, you measure 3 teaspoons of the milk, and you use 1 sachet of this. In those days, I don't know, the prices of things has increased, so I can't say for sure. But glucose, the sachet one, used to be like 20 to 30 naira, but now I don't know the price. You empty 1 of it into it. Make it thick. It should not be too watery. You should not make it too watery that it will be too light, because as it is going into their system, it should be able to take some time, because the system of breastfeeding in pigs takes like 2 hours interval. I think when we start how to cater for piglets, most especially when you're facing cases of crushing, the sow is crushing piglets to death. What you need to do, I think I'm going to give you some tips that will guide you on that aspect too. So when you bring it, heat water to be lukewarm. You know, milk doesn't dissolve in cold water very well. So when it is lukewarm, you can boil the water, but let it be hot. Dissolve this in and allow it to rest and cool. You can equally put it inside water, cold water, for it to go down a little, so that it should be lukewarm. When you are done, just drop it on your skin. Feel this thing, because if anything that hurts you on the skin, it will also hurt on the tongue. So if it's not comfortable, you feel that it's hot on your skin, then you should rest it more. At the first instance, when you want to give them this thing, you have some challenges, but as time goes on, like for 2-3 days, you see that they will start complying. When they see you, they will come. When you lower the feeding bottle without even holding them, they will come and take. Now you put in the mixture into the feeding bottle. Depending on the number of piglets you have, you should make substantial quantity that will take you for a long time. Now when you are done, you put it into the feeding bottle and cork it. Tear the mouth a bit wide enough, not like baby's own. It should be open enough to allow the milk flow freely. When you just bend it like this, it should be dropping quick. Now you just carry one, force it to drink. At the first instance, it will be difficult, just like I said earlier. But as time goes on, you will be able to manage it and get it to that place. At that time, you also be working on the pig. As you do the first injection today, you do it the following day again. Do it for 4 days continuously like that. Even if it is coming out, you should continue injecting on daily basis. The essence for that is to allow the milk system get used to it and make it produce enough milk until you stabilize it. Now, as you are giving them the milk this side, you are supporting it this side. In some cases, for those that have cattle around that they can harvest fresh milk, it's advisable to use it. But the challenge with it is cases of brucellosis are associated with milk. So if the cow that they harvested that milk from is having brucellosis, definitely the piglets are going to come down with it. And as time goes on, your farm will be in danger. And brucellosis, they don't treat for it because even if you treat it, it's not of any use because it will still resurface just like African swine fever to keep on affecting you. So it's advisable you take precautions. If need be, you can bring the fresh milk and subject it to some heat to some extent to remove this thing so that it will serve you better. Now, at this point, you are able to survive, allow the animal survive, manage the situation like that to have your piglets at the end of the day healthy and sound. It dropped in my mind to drop this message or this short video, though it's not that short, for people to understand the workings of that milk, to avoid people calling and farmers having issues, panicking for no just cause because the animal has given birth and there's no milk when actually milk is coming out. So I think with this message, you are able to get some orientation that is in line with the current dispensations standard of rearing pigs. I want you to, as you watch this video, you also share it. For those that are watching it on other platforms, I ask or I seek your listen to join the group if you want to get more tips when we start the classes on my platforms. I have a page, Facebook page on piggery business and what you need to know. You can Google it on your, sorry, you can, when you log on to your Facebook, you search for it, piggery business and what you need to know. Then I have another page that is livestock at your doorstep. That one too is there. You have my Facebook page at Mbavinegen Tehumba 193 something. I wouldn't bother you to go to that site. Whereas I update at YouTube, you also follow. But it's at Mbavinegen. It's a new YouTube page. So the number that ends with it, but it's at Mbavinegen as in MB Arts. The art, not 80. The art that is like a seiko. The Mbavinegen is MBAVENENGEN. The Tehumba is TERHEMBA. Then the number is followed. These are my English names anyway, for those that want to know. The name, they are English in nature, because after all, English was it was somebody that brought the idea of the language English. So in my own case, that is my English version of my name. Though that's on a serious note, that is my tribal names. I don't have English name. I have only my native names because my father is a Nigerian, my mother is a Nigerian too. So I don't see any reason. The English name I have is church stuff, so I wouldn't want to mix it with this. That is only known when I'm in church. But on a lighter mood, you can share this video for others to also learn. And when you have issues, you can also, drop your message for other farmers that are into the business that have issues. Now that the classes have not started yet, I encourage you to drop your messages at the pages. You can also check me on my Facebook page, Mbavinegen Astedi Tehimba. That Astedi is my pet name, just like I spelled it before. You just search for my name, Mbavinegen as in MB Avenengen. Astedi as in Asteddy. Tehumba as in Terhemba. You can see me on Facebook. You can equally drop it there or check on my Facebook. You see my page and join so that you have privilege to do. I'm doing this free of charge. I want people to get encouraged. This is the only way for us to survive in Nigeria. Things are getting out of hand. And if you don't have a business of your own or you don't have anything doing and you're looking for greener pasture from elsewhere, then you're making a big mistake. You need to be looking inward. Learn a trade. Know what you can do with your hands. And I think business like piggery business is lucrative enough for you to start. You can start with one. And within just 1 year, you're counting $1 million. People don't know. You create a value for it. The market, gradually we are working on it. Thank God, Minister of Agric, Federal Minister of Agric too was working in line with our desire to create a value chain for it, for piggery. And I think as time goes on, we'll have enough prospects coming up in piggery business. You can start. As you join the group, you also have some benefits to processing aspects that I've packaged for those who will be members, that it will help them to work out. And I also expect that my page should serve as a market hub for those that will have pigs to sell, and those that want to buy pigs, and those that want to learn, and things that you don't know that other people are having. I have this and it's wasting. I'm investing in, I invested in research work on piggery, and I've learned a lot from the practical aspect of it. I've been an animal scientist there, and I also rear pigs. I work with Benue Swine Projects for some time. I also have background information about pigs that at least I can give you that will help you. With that, you can go places. I'm not a reservoir of knowledge. If there's anything you see that you think you don't get it, draw my attention to it. Let's slug it out. Bring your perspectives. Let's iron it out. If you think your own version of it is better than what I have, but I want you to understand that we are here to learn, and I want to let each and every one of us learn. That is what we're supposed to do. We are supposed to be our brother's keeper. If I have this knowledge and I'm not impacting others, then the knowledge is a waste. The essence of having knowledge, being blessed with knowledge by God, is for you to share with one another. When you are blessed with resources, to share with people. People around you should feel the impact. If you have like 10 people around sharing with other people too will build up on that ground and also go out there too. But I want you to understand that you should not also benefit from somebody's benevolence and at the end of the day hold on to yourself. When you benefit, also share with other persons so that the person too will grow. Collectively, we have a better society. Thank you. I think I'm looking forward to seeing you more. Share these videos on any platform you stumble on so that many people will get access to it and get this knowledge that is coming in free of charge. I'm not giving my advices and my professional advice for money. I do consultancy services where you contact me personally on issues like operations. That one I can charge you money, but when you seek knowledge, I give you free of charge. I don't want to, on this platform most especially. That is what I do. Thank you. I remain blessed. See you next time. Bye.